Okay, public forum. We'll have Pastor Ross. Would you like to be first?
I have a hearing problem, and my battery just went out on me, so I may have a tough time responding to you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I spoke with Mr. Peterson a week or so ago, and then I talked to him again today. I represent a nonprofit organization called Siouxland Youth Ministries. We have been effective in working with kids in the area for some time. Several years ago, we operated a canoe outfitting program on the Little Sioux River up north of Storm Lake. We sold that business, but we retained 16 17-foot canoes along with the trailers, and we use those in the summertime part-time for our activities with the youth, but we don't use them all the time, and since insurance is high and maintenance is high, it occurred to us that we might be able to rent them out during the summer months when they're not in use, and we have used the lake here in times past on a few occasions to have our kids out to learn canoeing and some little outings, and so we thought that it might be a possibility that we could rent the canoes on the lake here when they're not in use, and I inquired of Mr. Peterson about that, and he said that I would need to appear before the council to explain myself and to explain what we want to do, and so here I am. We have operated canoe programs and water programs for many years. I serve as a pastor of a church in the area, and so we use our own kids. We also, on occasion, have the canoes used by other churches and other organizations as well. Our interest here has been exciting to us for some time. A while back, we negotiated a lease arrangement on the building that's located kind of across from Kathy's Corner. It's a salmon-colored building. I don't know if it has a particular name or not, but you probably know the one that I'm thinking of.
The old Lucto building.
My wife is a candy maker and baker of some renown, and so we hope to have a candy shop in there and do some homemade bakery for the benefit of the folks in the area, and that's our plan with that. And so since we were going to be in the area here working with that, we thought we might pursue the idea of the canoes, and so I come before you this evening to see if there is any interest on the part of the city to have canoes available, and if so, if you would give consideration to allowing us to rent canoes and have a program on the lake. Yes?
Just that the city issue is that you talked about renting them out of the parking lot by the boat ramp. Well, using that place as the rental area. If he wants to run a canoe rental business out of his building over here, that's not a city issue really at all. But the issue is whether we would use it out of the parking lot down there by the boat ramp.
That's correct. It would probably be beneficial to us if we could use the space down there so that people could readily see that the canoes were available. We would not envision any permanent structure or anything of that kind. Our canoes are mounted on two trailers, and they could be towed with a vehicle very conveniently, so this would not be any permanent arrangement in our mind. but rather it be something that we would facilitate our rental of the canoes in the area down there. We maintain insurance, we maintain a license for the canoes required by the Department of Natural Resources, and we have experience with canoeing on not only Iowa rivers but some others, and we operate safely, and we've never had a serious problem with our canoes, and we like to use them. It's a good opportunity for kids to not only learn the basics of canoeing but also other responsibilities and have a good time.
Are you planning on just renting them on weekends or weekdays, or?
They would probably be available anytime. I don't know that we would be there on a full-time basis. I think we'd probably have to assess what the interests are and then respond to that.
So you would leave would the canoes, be sitting down there all the time then, or would they be pulled in, pulled out at certain times of a week, or what would be your thought?
I would imagine that we would hook them up in the morning, pull the canoes down there, operate for the day, hook them up and tow them back to another place in the evening.
I understand you said you were covered by insurance. I guess, Scott, would we as a city be under any kind of liability if something would go wrong, since we would be given permission to someone that's basically on public property, city property down there, if I'm understanding, that would, whether somebody got hurt, whether canoe accident or whatever, what is our exposure, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
I wouldn't say no exposure. I'm sure there'd be some exposure there. We've talked about needing to have the proof of insurance. You get the city named as an additional insured on their insurance policy.
And that wouldn't affect any of our insurance rates on our own, what we have right now with the city and covering insurance?
I guess you'd need to confirm that. I don't know.
Okay.
Tim, you surely got another question.
I think it's an excellent idea. I really do. I think it's fantastic that somebody wants to do something like this. But I'm a little hesitant about letting somebody use the parking lot, because then when somebody comes in and says, I want somebody to ride ponies around the lake out of the parking lot, what do we say? That's the only thing.
Because you know that specific thing had happened.
I know it happened, and that's
caused some problems.
You set a precedent, so you're going to have to live with it.
But I guess I'm not real scared of a precedent. You know, if somebody comes up, you can always tell them no and say, well, it's just we don't like you as much.
There you go.
Well, I mean, that is what we can say. I just think, I mean, we've talked about doing something like this as a city. We can get somebody else to do it for free.
Would you park up right by the bathrooms, or where would you want to park the trailer during the day?
I'm sorry, sir?
Where would you park the trailer with the canoes on it during the day?
During the daytime, we would probably find a location in the parking lot down there off to one side so that we wouldn't be interfering with boats going in and out of the water, but we'd like to be reasonably close to the water so we didn't have to carry the canoes so far. Right. They are portable, and generally when I rent them out, first thing I do is teach people how to carry them so I don't have to do it.
So had you thought about staffing, and would there be people down there to monitor them?
I would expect that there'd be somebody on hand there. This idea is new at this time, and we're just exploring it, but we have some people that work with us. If the rental justified somebody being down there on a permanent basis, then we would see that they would be. Otherwise, we would probably put a sign and a cell phone number there, and somebody from our store could go down and service the canoes if somebody called us.
So this would require some motion from the council to allow the lake.
Yeah, and I think before we would have a motion from the council, we need to check on the liability issues and make sure that our insurance company's okay with it. And just to know the amount of insurance coverage that the city would require also. You know.
Since we got Ruth here, maybe we should ask Ruth what she thinks.
Well, Ruth knows about this a little bit.
Oh. So what do you think? Don't be shy.
Fantastic.
Okay. That's all I need.
You don't want to rent one?
No,
Okay.
I don't swim.
So we don't have to worry about you becoming a lifeguard or nothing? Okay.
They're on their own, she'll carry them for them.
Yeah.
I'd like to, like I said, I think that this is a two-part deal. I'm not against the product, but what I would like to see you do is present us with a business plan, kind of figure out where you would park the stuff, how your hours would be, how you'd man it if you wanted to go full-time, so we know exactly that we've got some organization in there. And I think Scott, and then on the other end, on the city's part, we need to have Scott take a look at what our insurance liability is, and then we can move on to the next step. As far as, I think, like I said, I don't think anybody's against it here that I'm aware of, but I want to make sure that, again, I'm one of these sticklers about making sure we protect the city's interests too, as well as yours, and presenting a business plan that we can make it work for everybody.
Well, I think those are legitimate concerns, and I would be pleased to put my ideas down on paper and present it to you, and then if you have some input after you think about it a bit, well, maybe we can incorporate those into the plan. We would like to be regarded as a good neighbor in the community, and if there's any way that we could participate in events that would encourage people to come and visit the community, we'd sure like to do that.
Thank you very much. We'll work on it.
All right. Well,
You're welcome, and now I'll tell you this, that when we get our candy shop up and running, well, we'll either fix you up with some donuts or some fudge or something.
sure, now you're going to bribe us. Yeah. Do I look like a guy that would pass up a donut?
I like this guy.
I tell my friends that I weighed 140 pounds when I married my wife, and she started making candy, and look at me.
She's good at it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.